Hello, welcome back. Alright lads, now this is a turn. Some great stuff in this turn. Let's watch the assassinations first of all. We have a nighttime assassination first versus a monk. This guy does bless himself. We can see man's bless, inspirational +1, leadership +30. There's a basic fire bless. I used a bless like this in my game so that all of my monks could lead troops. I assume that's what he's doing as well. And with that in mind, killing some monks in a fort is pretty good. So that's one monk down. Second assassination. Also nighttime. Good stuff so far. And third assassination. A daytime one. Will it help? No. There's 3 leaders down. Pretty good. Next there was a battle in Javel Kish. This is slightly more frightening. This is man's god. An awake, fire-breathing dragon. F3, interestingly. Does that mean it's died and been brought back? It would have to be F4 to get blessed, wouldn't it? Didn't notice that until now. Other than that, yeah, it's a dragon. I'm not sure how it's scripted because it kind of just walks forwards. Is that what it does when it's unscripted? And there's a big fire breath. Fire breath is kind of scary because that would probably wipe out like hundreds of worms if it hit me. Yeah, 19 fire damage. That'd be like in the 20s if it hit my worms. Pretty scary. So we have lost our Wasteland province, unfortunately. Then we had a big battle in Kareen. Here's my beautiful army. These gel cubes, man. I knew they were slow, but I didn't realize how slow 2 move speed really is. It's pretty slow. I don't really do much. They're very funny though, I do like gelatinous cubes. Here's man's army here. I have a sneaking suspicion that he meant to move more stuff out of his fort, led by those monks, and didn't get here. Because notably absent from this fight are the Knights of Avalon. Very few knights generally. Mostly just some sinos in the front and then longbows and long spears. We haven't seen the Knights of Avalon since they took this province originally. Not sure what happened to them because they attacked into Mun. It's a bit strange. But yeah, we really have no problem here at all. He just doesn't really have a front line. There's the gel cubes. Gel cubes would be really nice to put behind all your armies, like right at the back. If you're fighting someone with loads of like weak flying units, I imagine. Flying units usually get set to attack rear. That was great. We lost 2 Bone Tribe. We lost our 3 cadaverous Redworm colonies. 1 soldier and 9 viable colonies. And man lost... And I went and did the math for you here. This is approximately 1500 gold worth of troops. So that's pretty good. Most notable are the Knights of Man, who are 40 gold each. So that was Kareen. Events now. Old Forest. We got ourselves a Great Red Moor, which is fantastic news. This is the final site you can get naturally. It requires Dominion 8 and fewer than, I think, 4,000 corps, 4,000 population. And then we got Dense Redweed and Robber Home. We got Mire of Red Ooze in Glade Woods. We got another Great Red Moor in Chibia. This is the province I expected to get one first. As if all that wasn't enough, we got a free lab on a coast and a Staff of Elemental Mastery. Pretty good. And then in Keepus, there are rumours of a hidden site of mystical power. This can sometimes be like a chain of events if you put a fire mage here that leads to a fire site. It's also possible that it isn't that, because I remember I had this event in my man game and I looked it up. Either way, it gives us 4 fire gems, which we don't really have a use for. And then in Ionia, another hidden lab, and a Starfire staff this time. Construction of the fortress in Queen Forest is completed. And then we also got our national hero. So let's go look at that guy first. This is Idra Faranmo. He has quite a lot of description, but his little story kind of fills in a little gap in the storyline of the nation. So if you're interested, you can read that, I suppose. Otherwise, he is basically a mouth. I realized when I got him, I forgot to change his stats around, so unfortunately he has 10 leadership and 90 magic leadership. That should not be the case. He should be a good mundane leader. He should also be able to levy peasants like a mouth. He currently can't. He's also insane. Maz used to be insane. Maybe I'll leave Idrif insane though. It's kind of thematic. He's only 2% insane though. Other than that, he's Astral 3, N3, H3 with Earth 1 tagged on as well. So he's very good for searching for sites. He can also naturally cast both Strange Bedfellows and Greater Peristaltic Passage. Which I will now show off, because I haven't looked at these spells yet, but Peristaltic Passage requires N1 and H1, and it's basically Cloud Trapeze, but you can use it to go to anywhere in your own territory, and it can only be cast at a Great Red Moor. And then the upgraded version is basically Gateway with the same restrictions. So for 10 nature gems, you can move an army from any Great Red Moor to any of your territory within 5 provinces. So Idrif can cast both that and Strange Bedfellows, which is really useful. And he's also a great site searcher. And that's it for events and things. Yeah, there's a few developments. You can see he does have lots of Knights of Avalon in the fort. I think that we killed the guys who were leading those. I have a suspicion that's what happened. But I'm very confused how they got from... Like, I don't really understand how... You know what I mean? Because he had the Knights here, and then they took this province. And then... what? It's kind of confusing to me what the chain of events was. Unless, because the mountain pass was open, maybe he took this with the knights and then moved them back and moved a different army into Mun? I suppose that's also possible. I'm truly not sure. But anyway, let's get to movements for this turn. Still picking up random worms with acolytes who are still being recruited. We did just get a free lab here, so I'm going to start recruiting Coastal Hermits. These are slightly better 45 gold researchers. They get different paths than the Revelers though. Not much else going on in this area. You can see a lot of red lines moving to Old Forest. Since this has the Great Red Moor now, and this is what this site looks like, they all generate 1 pearl, and they all give you a Dominion conflict bonus. This is a really interesting effect that is only on thrones usually. In theory, we can stack that up to, like, you know, if we get 20 Great Red Moors, then we'll have 20 Dominion conflict bonus. Which sounds like incredibly powerful and broken, but it's really not, actually. It's just kind of Actually, I'm not sure anyone really knows exactly how this works, but if I bring up temples, you can see it now just says Dominion conflict -2. At the bottom, the Dominion strength counts as this much higher when resolving the conflicts that arrive when different Dominions meet. So I assume it gives you some kind of advantage in terms of spreading Dominion on your borders, but it doesn't seem hugely noticeable to me in my test games. But it's an interesting little bonus to have on the sites, I think. Great Red Moors are different from all your other sites in that if the province is conquered, the site disappears. It slams shut, which can be annoying. But it also means that people who invade you cannot get these bonuses. They're only for you. So research, we're going to get enchantment 5 next turn. That gives us Sword of Skeletons and it gives us Bedfellows. So I'm moving a lot of stuff to Old Forest. This is where I'm going to start doing Bedfellows and probably agitating the Mire as well. This is going to be my base of operations for the next couple of turns. So I'm moving some units over here. Just remembered I need to move this guy now. This guy was moving somewhere else originally. Make sure he's in the right spot. So I'm moving a D2 guy who can cast Agitate the Mire. I'm moving Idroth who can cast Strange Bedfellows. And then I'm going to start moving worms and things into this province to keep it defended. It is kind of vulnerable. I assume the dragon could fly straight to it. But I don't think he would just yet. I don't think it's going to be apparent to anyone that this is now a hugely strategically important province. I'm going to try and bulk up as much stuff as I can here, and this will be my first Bedfellows site. And then this will be the second one, I think. I'm kind of just leaving this border completely undefended at the moment, but I can't see any troops here. But we'll move a lot of stuff here. We'll start casting those spells there next turn. I'll probably alchemize some gems into pearls to get like a nice big Bedfellows for the first one. Over here, I put the free Boots of the Messenger we got a few turns ago. And that reminds me, I'll show off that item we just got as well. Onto this guy, loaded him with some gems. He's going to help out with the Korean army that are all just moving straight on Sevilla this time. I'm going to ignore the dragon for now. This is everything. I truly think that the order that you see the units is the order that they eat corpses in. So I've rearranged everything so that all of the big meatballs are now in the last commander, that they do not eat corpses unless everything else is eaten. And then all the stuff that's close to leveling up is now in the very, very first commander. So in theory, these guys should all eat their corpses now first, and then these will eat them second, and these third, and these last. That seems to be how it's working, so that's good to know. So that's how I'll continuously arrange the troops. So that once you hit thriving status, you go right at the bottom so that you stop eating. And all the other worms get put in the order of how close they are to reaching that point. So that's all going to attack in Sevilla. Arrangement is similar to usual. The gel cubes are now way out in front. The 5 bone tribe, the side, big meatballs here. The semi-large colonies here, and then all the tiny colonies right at the back. We've got our soldiers all on hold and attack in this little block here. And everyone else is just on like God Commander. And most people are completely unscripted now. There are 3 D2 mages here, and the D2 mages will be able to cast Horde Skeletons next turn. So I'm leaving them unscripted and hoping that that is what they choose to do. The Acolytes can't really do anything, so they're just unscripted. The N1 guys, one of them is doing Eagle Eyes and then Vine Arrows, and the other one is doing Eagle Eyes and then Lesser Red Tangle. My H3 guys I've switched to doing Holy Word. This is just in case his god shows up in the fight. This is a magic resistance negate spell, but I assume that if his god is in the fight, that's the only thing that will get targeted, because he doesn't really have many sacred units, does he? I suppose the monks. Actually, I can't remember. Are the Knights of Avalon sacred? I should probably know that, but I can't remember. Whoops. But either way, he's set to try and stun the god if that shows up in the fight. I imagine that's slightly better than smiting. Who knows? My N3 guy doesn't have gems. He's going to just cast regeneration on some people. Area effect 1. Probably won't hit much stuff, but If he hits a couple of these guys and gives them additional regeneration, that would be cool. And that's it in terms of scripting. You can see that we have, if I go back to Kareen, we have a siege strength of 151. This fort has 250 strength, so 2 turns we can take that open. The tiny colonies have like basically no siege strength, unfortunately. Level 2 guys, siege strength 0.4. Level 3 guys, siege strength 1.4. But the meatballs have a siege strength of 5.8, which is pretty good. So big colonies are pretty decent for sieging, small ones pretty useless for sieging, unfortunately. Let's go to the magic item treasury. We got 2 items this turn. We got Staff of Elemental Mastery. This is a booster for all elemental paths. That's air, fire, earth, and water. Plus spell range. Gives you resistances. This is another pretty incredible item to just be handed by events, so thank you, luck scales. That's great. I don't know what I'm going to use that for yet, but I'm sure it'll come in handy at some point. And the Starfire Staff, slightly less useful, but it is Astral Spell Range, which is interesting. And it lets you cast Starfires, which is less interesting, but you can put that on a commander and give them something to do. Other things I forgot to look at. I forgot to look at the thrones that got claimed, I think, in the previous turn. So Gerudo took the Golden Throne, 200 gold, the Depths of the Golden Order. That'd be a nice throne for us, wouldn't it? And one of the Kazias took Throne of Knowledge. The Law Masters and Sages would also be a fantastic throne for us to claim. I actually assumed that this would be the Throne of Knowledge because it was defended by Sages and Lawmasters, but I guess not. I wonder what this is then. Yep, so we're attacking Vilea. The assassins are moving on. I assume he's going to start bodyguarding his guys now, so they already did their job quite well. Gonna go over here. I'll assassinate all the commanders in this cave and then attack on the same turn with the stealth army to hopefully burn down this other temple. I assume anywhere he has a temple is where he's recruiting his monks to lead troops. So it serves a dual purpose. And over here, just picking up worms still. Not much else going on in this region of the map. I am searching with the bone guy I just recruited to look for air sites. I'm not sure how effective that'll be. Other than that, not much to report. I just sent a message asking how Cassie is doing. He's getting sieged on his cap. He's got quite a few troops over here though. We can also see La Mancha. Looks like he doesn't have many troops, but Throne is being claimed by his god, who is an awake virtue, which is something to be aware of. I'm going to try and get scouts in these 3 provinces. This is his cap, and then this is his fort on my border, so I assume this will be the route that he moves stuff into us if he's planning to attack. So there's this guy is sneaking up. We've got 1 scout already here. We'll get 3 up here. I think that's it for this turn. Just check F1. We've got defense in every province. Sneaking, researching, sneaking, breaching, searching. I'll just double check research. We need 131, we've got 143, yep, that's fine. Let's be extra safe. Just switch that guy to research. Do 131, have 149. Okay, good. Is there anyone else I can do with that just to be... Oh, these guys are site searching as well, of course. Okay, ending turn. That was turn 18, thanks for watching. I think this is the end of the video. Hope you're enjoying it, and I'll see you in the next one.